And here in the Northview Model Shop. I'm going to do a little update video on where we stand right now with the rebuilding of the Kenworth W900. We're going to kind of do a little bit on the slab kind of style video here, like Dr. Cranky would do, because it's Sunday and I don't want to put any pants on, so we'll do behind the video, or behind the camera kind of thing here. Alright, here's the cab. Not a lot done anywhere on the front or anything, except for I have gone ahead and picked out some bare metal foil of latches and stuff like that. That last time I had never done, and I think that kind of took it away a little bit there. See here and here as well. I need to clean up the other side a little bit, and then I still need to pick these wiper blades out. They kind of scare me a little bit, but we'll get into those at some point. Try to get centered up here. And then I gotta get that firewall picked out. But I think that's all that really the cab and sleeper are going to get. I'm not going to do a whole lot more to it. Still kind of looking for a nice big rub-on tattoo to put right through here. I think that'll cover up this little mark for the sleeper, or for the bed inside. As Benny Mac pointed out, these kind of show up, and that's going to show up. So a big rub-on tattoo, at least to cover that one, will help. So anyway, that's where we're with that. Moving on to the hood. Nothing too obvious here, right? But I went ahead and I bare metal foiled the inside of the hood. I'm hoping that once it gets in there, the motor's in there and everything's attached, this will kind of give a little more reflecty kind of show kind of thing. Also, it's one thing kind of omitted, I guess, from the first time around, didn't realize, but thanks to Hunter Shelby, he pointed out that there's usually heat shielding in here. So putting the bare metal foil in there kind of rough, kind of gives it that heat shield insulation kind of look to it. So anyway, I don't know if that'll make a big difference, but I think it looked cool. The frame, a lot of work we put into the frame so far. I went ahead for every single rivet that I had, just kind of a little dab of paint to help pick them out. I went ahead and put the kind of scratch build a pogo stick for the lines. I'm stuck to now. We'll point that out later, what we did there. The fifth wheel pins and stuff like that, kind of picked them out. I also went ahead, removed the rear axle, drilled the airbags, and ran all the air lines. Obviously, we're looking at this is not in the correct locations to how this is technically supposed to be wired up or plumbed up, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, it'll do its trick. Just trying to think of anything else here. I know one thing that's going to be a downside to this, and the wife pointed out, she said to me, first time I did this, she's still saying it today, these saddle tanks, and her words are exactly, they look like shit. True, this is true. They really should be stripped down, cleaned, then L-clad or something. I just don't have the time. I mean, I got to order product and everything else to do that, so we'll omit that for now. Anyway, that is where we stand so far with the frame. I think these are kind of a nice touch. When I originally had the mud flaps, these were just all flat black. So I went ahead and bare metal foiled them. As you see in the picture here, they're right here. They're flat black in the picture, but I think with this chrome kind of bare metal foil look, I think that's really going to make them stand out a little bit better. But anyway, there's that. The steer axle. Got this apart, got it all picked out, just nuts and bolts and stuff like that. Got the tie rods picked out a little better. I've drilled holes right on the top of the kingpins. And what my intentional plan here is, I've tried scratch building a set of maxi cans, Park Brake maxi cans. Now the wire here is way too long, obviously. We'll cut those short, and they should mount, if I get this in picture, should mount something like this, both sides, and then I'll make a small air line that'll come off, go to a bulkhead fitting on the frame, then from the frame we'll run back to the air tanks. Once again, the plumbing's not 100%, but I mean, for intents and purposes, it should look pretty cool. But this here actually started out as a piece like this. We'll get it up here together, and I was going to make a air dryer, but on the Kenworth, the air dryer is located somewhere up in here. You never see it. I was thinking, like on the Ottawa shunt truck, the air dryer's under here, right under here on the hood. Would have been a nice touch, but never see it on the Kenworth, so I kind of scrapped them and harvested them for something else. Going a little deeper. The Super Signals, or my Michelin X1 tires. Not a whole lot I could have done with these, make them any better. I'm still probably going to go by and try to fill in some gaps here and try to make that look cleaner. I never realized this, but in my original build, I actually had the tire on the wrong side of the rim, because the rim, kind of the lip of the rim that you're supposed to get the tire on top of was actually exposed outside, so it looked kind of stupid. Anyway, I went ahead, fixed that. Actually, I had to put spacers in behind the wheel backings and the rim. I put some spacers in there so they'd stick out a little deeper. Anyway, I fixed all four. They look 100 times better now. So, anyway, they're all taken care of. All right. Side steps, nothing. They're as good as I can do with them. I couldn't do any better than what the factory is, so you don't even touch that. The motor, I know we talked about this before. I haven't done anything else except for put that cylinder on there since last video, so that's nothing important there. Exhaust work, I reprimed everything here and went and resprayed everything. I've bought a little bit of strip styrene. I might try, I'll do it probably on this one because this is the crossover pipe that goes underneath. I might try making the bands, the exhaust bands for the flex pipe. I think that might be an option, because if that doesn't work, then it's kind of hidden anyway, you don't really see it. But we'll give that a shot. If it turns out well, I'll know for next truck to build, that's something to look at. The fifth wheel, hopefully this will show, I'll get down here in the white background. If you see there, I got the jaws installed now. All I'll do is just take some strip styrene and glue it to the back. It's going to work great this way, I believe, because it kind of gives you the look that there's the jaw in there, they're in the locked position. And with that in the locked position, if I ever get a trailer, which I think there's a trailer coming for Christmas. For some reason one showed up in the closet the other day I know nothing about, but the pin will be locked, or the fingers are locked now, the jaws are locked up, so a trailer could be installed for showing. So anyway, it's looking pretty decent. Tailgate, or the tail mud flaps, nothing done with those. They're probably as good as they'll get. I'll pick up some detail, nothing more. Radiator, looks the same, haven't done nothing. These are here. These are frame supports for the rear axle. When I took them off, I scratched them up, so there's repainted. I will have to pick out some rivets and stuff, and they'll go back on. Nothing difficult there. And I just kind of super glued some wire to the back so I could easily hold them and support them while I paint it. Drive shaft, nothing done there except for pick out some details, some nuts and bolts and stuff like that, or the end caps on the U-joints and then the slip joint on the axle. I kind of picked that out. And here's kind of, right now, in my opinion, it's my pride and joy so far, is I actually made all my glad handles lines. Made a bulkhead fitting, and then hopefully, I don't know, hopefully that shows up there, but I made a little glad handle out of this thing, just some styrene. I got to paint the rubber portion of it. Anyway, I think that's going to look pretty sweet. I did the red, which is your trailer brake, your blue, which is, don't know, and then the greens for your electrical line, and that's just a straight, just looks like a little trailer connector. Hopefully that's done right. But anyway, those took a little bit of time. The blue and the green were no problem. It was the red. I had no red, so it was just silver, primed black, and then or primed white, sorry, and then I just went over with red spray paint and made them. I'm thinking these are probably way too long, so I'll have to do a little bit of jigging with them to get them so they look right, but that's the last kind of thing, right? But anyway, that's where we stand so far on the Kenworth W900. Won't bore you guys with too many more of these dumb videos. Hopefully the next one will be a showcase of how she turned out. Anyway, guys, thanks for staying tuned in, and see you on the other side. All right, bye.